Hello, my name is Jolynn Stockton. This is Module 5 for class MIT 822 at Fort Hays State University. Today we're talking about visualization in media. Visualization includes typography, which means fonts, line length, and highlighting. Screen design, which refers to the amount of information and the grouping of information, and media, which refers to audio, graphics, animation, and video. First of all, what is typography? According to Wikipedia, typography is the art and technique of arranging type to make written language legible, readable, and appealing. Secondly, screen design. According to the University of Delaware, screen design is the layout of design elements such as text, pictures, icons, and buttons. And finally, media. And when we're talking about media on a website, we're talking about such things as graphics, animation, videos, pictures, and audio. So our role as educators is to evaluate media and see if it's appropriate and effective for our students. According to the article written by Schwanke, we can find or seek the right balance on a website by asking ourselves these questions. Is it technically feasible? Is it cognitively achievable? And is it educationally desirable? When evaluating websites, here are some things that we can look for. Can students control the process? Does the website create an environment where students can pay attention, or are there too many distractions? Does it provide clear instructions? Is there easy self-access? Are objects on the website large and distinguishable? Today I'm going to evaluate two different language arts websites. Both of these websites, Scholastic.com, Story Starters, and mystorybook.com. Both of these are language arts websites that provide students an opportunity to create their own story. So let's take a look. Oops, that didn't work. Here we go. Story Starters on Scholastic. First, let's take a look at this website. A lot of it depends maybe on the age of your students. For me personally, I'm an early childhood educator and also lower elementary. So taking a look at this particular website for Scholastic, they might have a target group for anywhere from pre-K to grade 8. This would be way too advanced for students I've worked with in pre-K through kindergarten. Their ages anywhere from 4 to 6. This has way too much text for my particular students. So this would not be something that my students could work independently on. So they couldn't have that self-access that I just talked about. Let's see here. There is a lot of text, some graphics. Who knows? This may be too much text even for first, second, third grade, maybe fourth, fifth even, just, fifth graders. I'm sure they could handle it, but it is a lot to read just to maybe get to an activity. So, well, anyways, now that I've scrolled down, I finally see that there are story starters. So let's go to the activity. see how easy it is to access. Okay, so so far there weren't any advertisements, which often serve as a distraction. This is called Story Starters, so you can choose maybe what kind of story you want to write. So let's choose adventure. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to type my first name. And let's just try kindergarten through first grade. I know from reading some of the posts, a lot of you are secondary educators, so this will be way out of your realm, but trying to look at something through a child's perspective, someone who's very young. There wasn't, any kind of tutorial or direction. I suppose that might be a teacher's job to work through an initial time at this website with them. Okay, let's spin the wheel. Try to, poke around and see if we could figure it out. Describe a party for. Let's spin another wheel. A green. Frog. Who knows the password to get into a secret room? Well, that sounds fun. Okay. Describe a party for a green frog who knows the password to get into a secret room. Pick a format for your story. I'm just going to say off the bat, these seem like a lot of steps for a young student to go through in order to get to some writing. I mean, it seems like a good prompt and maybe some fun graphics. Is it laid out well? Probably. I mean, there's not too much going on, and again, no advertisements. But like I said, it does seem to have kind of a lot of steps for a young student to get from one point to the next. And that's not much of an opportunity to write. Whew. And again, there's a lot of buttons. Teachers, parents, kids, administrators, librarians. It's not that it's not laid out well or that it has too much going on. You can hear there's audio, but honestly, this audio, I wish I could turn it off because it's very distracting. Oh, look, you can turn it off. That helps actually, but would students know how to do that? Not sure. Anyways, the audio is distracting. There are a lot of choices. The layout is fairly simple and good enough graphics. Let's take a look at a different one. This one is called mystorybook.com. I did spend a little more time on this one earlier, and I thought it was a little simpler and maybe could be more enjoyable for students. So it says, welcome to our community of storytellers. Create a storybook. Make your story come to life. I guess if you've already gone through this process with your students, they could jump right to this. It is simple. I can scroll down. The words are large. The options are clear. It has nice graphics. No advertisements. No annoying music or noise. That's kind of nice. Okay, try it now. All right, so here we go. My storybook. Okay, so here's a tutorial. Students may or may not know what this little icon is, but I guess that would be easy enough to tell them. My first storybook. Items, just looking at this, I'm going to assume it's some sort of, pictures, yeah. That's kind of what I thought. I don't know if students would know that or not, but those are, if this was your lesson, you could probably just go through each icon, and even your youngest students could learn to recognize that this might be pictures. This is to draw. It has a little paintbrush. This little bubble means you're going to do some writing, and this is to add a scene. Let's see what the scene is. Okay, landscape. Okay, so anyways, I think that I kind of like this website a little better. because there is a lot of blank space. I don't feel overwhelmed. The text is very simple. The buttons are very simple. I think this is, I kind of like this website. I think this is something that students could actually use and get around. The print that it's just simple. There's not too much of it. The icons are easily learned, and if I were to compare these two different websites, mystorybook.com versus the Scholastic version, of Story Starters, I would definitely like mystorybook.com much better. Scholastic may offer some good things, but I just feel like there's way too much going on here that serves as a distraction, or it's much harder to navigate. Anyway, it's important to evaluate these websites before you use them with your students. And I appreciate the information and the lens to look at these websites and think, is this too much for a student? Is there too much information? Is there too much distraction? Can my students access this? Anyways, a lot of good information as far as learning to evaluate hypermedia and websites to make sure that your students can learn and not be overwhelmed, and that their brains can handle it, and that when we talk about a cognitive load theory, is this appropriate for our students? Anyways, thank you for listening. I appreciate your time.